Good evening. The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for April 12th, 2023 is now in session. I would like to introduce my board. To my left is Skip Sweeney and Brandon Dines. I'm Ivan Valentik. To my right is T.R. Hatch and Davey Rowan. To our far right is Heather Freeman, our zoning inspector. And to my far left is Keith Peterson, our township legal counsel. Under the advice of counsel, we ask that anyone speaking tonight must be sworn in. If you plan on speaking, please stand and raise your right hand. If you plan on coming up to speak about any case tonight, please stand and raise your right hand. Okay. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. If so, say I do. Thank you. Please be seated. Also, when you come up to the stand and present, please state your name and your address for the record. And we also need to confirm that you've been sworn in, okay? Heather, were the legal notices published in a timely manner?
Yes, they were.
All right, thank you. So we have one old variance, old business, and we have three new variances this evening. A 3-vote majority is required to approve the variance. All right, so first is we have to do old business. I need a vote to table, per the applicant's request, we need a table variance appeal application 2023-124, Kimberly Perry and James Perry requesting the following for the property located at 1190 Spear Road, current parcel number 08-A-18-00-00-049-0. They have 3 variance requests, but we'd like to get that tabled. Can I get a motion to table this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Heather, do you want to call the vote?
Sure.
Aye.
Mr. Goling? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Valentik?
Yes. Thank you. That's been tabled. Next is new business. First is variance application 2023-125, David and Christine Rako on behalf of the property owner 20th Century Construction Inc. are requesting a variance from sections 15.04A2D and 15.04B2, table 15.04-1 to allow single-family dwelling to have a 25-foot front building setback from Hoos Road in lieu of the minimum 50 feet required for the property located at 7440 Dutchman Lane, current parcel number 08-A-026-J-00-001-0. Please come up and present your case.
I'm state name and address and all that, or?
Yeah, your name, address, and confirm you've been sworn in.
Okay. Chris Mulchin, 7922 Ironwood Court, Concord Township, Ohio. I confirm I've been sworn in. I'm with 20th Century Construction, the owner of the property, and we will be building the house for the Rakos. Dave and Christine are here. We're asking for the variance so that we have a better sighting on the lot. The lot's sloping pretty substantially from left to right as you're facing the lot, and there is a retention basin along the back. By pushing this over this amount, it gives us more room to grade the lot out to the side between us and the future neighbor. It also, personally probably looks a little bit better where it's sited. It's where that lot was originally, how it was originally platted to be built. I do have some notes from neighbors who have we have the 3 neighbors voicing their support for the siting of the house this way. And the neighbor across the street, we built their house, I believe we finished in 2020. We asked for the same variance, we were granted it. It is sited the same way with a 25-foot side yard.
Because the neighborhood was originally planted with 50-foot side
The
yard?
zoning was changed several years back, many years after the subdivision was platted.
Okay.
So it's kind of was caught in, it was originally laid out to be a 25-foot side yard. This lot in particular has a retention basin on the back of it, so there's not a whole lot of extra room to move the house around on the lot. But yeah, I don't remember the year they changed the zoning. Heather, you probably would know, but I feel like it was 2008, somewhere around there.
I'm not
It was many years, like the subdivision went in and the late 80s. So it was many years down the road that the zoning was actually changed.
Okay.
Do you have copies of the neighbors' letters? I believe everything was emailed in. No?
I do not. If you have a copy of a letter,
I only have one set.
if you want to start on one end and we could pass it around.
One's double-sided and one's bottom.
Thank you.
But they're in support of the setback.
Especially Benz, who voiced his support. Mr. Benz is the homeowner that I built his house, and he had the same exact variance.
Any questions on this end?
I'm assuming the retention pond obviously was a requirement for that when this was put
Yeah.
in. There's really
It's
no feasible way, I'm assuming, to like adjust that and like make it work.
We actually pushed the retention basin back several years ago. It was quite a bit forward.
Okay.
So we moved it back on the lot as far as we could, and that was all done with Lake County's guidance and supervision, and Concord Township Service Department.
And this is the property line here, correct? Like this would be where potentially another,
That's the sublot 2, that's
Okay.
the property line.
thank you.
You got any questions?
These
on
are
this
half
end?
acre lots. Yeah.
It's a tough spot there to set back. How many square feet is the house gonna be?
Just over 24, almost 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
Is the lot next to it vacant?
It is now, it was recently sold. I don't know when they plan on doing anything on it.
So these two parcels have been vacant since the 80s.
Yeah. The lot didn't look like that up until a few years ago when we moved that retention basin.
I noticed that.
It was
Yeah,
full of,
yeah,
it
we
was
drive past
overgrown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we cleared it down and pushed it back, all of a sudden, we started
some
getting a lot
interest?
more phone calls.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, it's not, the house is in, it's not like they're trying to put 3,000 square feet on there.
Right. That's tough. That's tough.
It's, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Thank you, you can be seated.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here speaking for or against this appeal?
Yes, good evening. So, my name's David Rako,
Okay.
currently located at 1384 Oakwood Trail in Painesville. And I'm here to get support for my variance for our forever home.
You've been sworn in, sir.
And I've been sworn in,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Yes. So, again, you've seen the letters of support from the neighbors. Sorry it took us this long since 1980 to get the lot, but it's somewhere we want to be. We're building a very, I think, appropriate ranch-style home. And as Chris said, the way the lot is sloped, I think the only way to really put the house there is to have that 25-foot setback. And I think it also aligns real nice with the house on this other side of the development. So it's really going to add synergy when you, just from a cosmetic aspect to the whole neighborhood. And did you have any questions for me?
Any questions? No? We're good. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
As we see it. Is there anyone else here this evening that would like to speak for or against this appeal? Okay, if there's no one else, then can I get a motion to approve variance number 2023-125?
So moved.
Thank you. Any discussion? Anything we want to add?
Seems like a no-brainer to me. It's a difficult situation.
Those lots have been vacant for a long time. I mean, obviously the 80s, but I've driven past them
Yeah.
for years and they've just been sitting there vacant.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see something there.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job trying to fit it on there.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't
And for
take
what
the
it's worth,
attention
I think
bond
he
out.
meets all the criteria, the Duncan factors, and all the other standards by which we render a decision, so I would recommend that we approve it based upon all the factors outlined by Mr. Mulchin and Mr. Rako and the facts presented to us by the staff.
Okay. Heather, please call a vote for the approval of the variance.
I concur.
Okay. Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes?
And Mr. Valente?
Yes. Your variance has been approved. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good luck.
Yes.
Good luck.
All right, next on the agenda is variance application 2023-126. Thomas F. Murphy III is requesting a variance from section 15.03A6, table 15.03-1, to allow a lot less than 2 acres to have 2 accessory buildings in lieu of the maximum 1 permitted for the property located at 10833 Tanglewood Trail, current parcel number 08-A-16-B-00-026-0. Mr. Murphy, if you want to come up?
I'm Thomas Murphy, 10833 Tanglewood Trail. I was sworn in.
Thank you.
I'm a new homeowner. We're very new to this whole world of variances and permits and things like that. We bought the house maybe a couple years ago. Me and my dad were renovating on it. We have not a lot of room to store things. We have a detached garage, which we were naive that knowing that was considered an accessory building. I just kind of figured it was my garage, and we always kind of were thinking about getting a shed or something. So my next door neighbor actually gifted us a shed. No one thought about it, and I didn't know I needed a permit. We put it on an existing concrete pad, and it's like, so I figured there was something there before, and we went through the permit process and the variance now, and I received permission from all my neighbors. I even got some signatures there saying that they don't mind it being there and stuff like that. And it's just kind of come to a point where I don't have anywhere to put my things, and I can't park both my cars in the garage, and I have lawnmowers, and up until I had the shed, I've been kind of having to like either only be able to put one car in there or it's halfway out so I can keep my lawnmower in there and can't shut the door behind it. And I guess all I'm asking is permission to keep my shed so I have a place to keep my things. And it's 10 feet off the property line from the side there, and it's really all I have to say.
Is it that,
Yeah, it's where I put the
black
little
box?
square.
Okay.
Yeah, the box there. There's another concrete pad that's adjacent to it randomly, so I got confused, I guess, thinking I could put something there, but I don't know. But now I know the processing, and I know I'm going to call you guys before I do anything. So.
Yeah, call Heather before you do
Yeah.
anything. And that's your garage, so you kind of swing back and your garage is in the
Yeah,
back.
the garage is kind of weird. It's like I had to go around the whole house to get to it. There, at one point, it was attached, I think, and then they, way before we bought the house, they made an addition, turned that into a room, and so they forced the garage into the backyard there, and just made it detached.
So this used to be the garage.
Yeah,
Okay,
right
gotcha.
there up front. That's why the driveway's so wonky. It goes around there like that. And that was done in like the 90s or something, I guess. I don't know. That was before we bought the place.
What's the distance between the detached garage and the home? It looks pretty close. Is it a couple of feet?
Maybe 4 or 5 feet,
Yeah.
the detached garage.
So that's why he ends up in this, is because the garage is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
not a
right.
good spot for it. And, I'm in a position where I'm at a wall here with what to do. And now I'm kind of worrying there's not much I can do with the property based on having the detached garage as far as adding more things for storage and stuff like that. So
And the neighbor directly to the side of where the shed is,
that's
what's that neighbor's name?
Bill Landers.
Landers.
Yeah.
Have you looked into what it would take to attach the garage?
I know. I've looked at it just financially. It's just really right now. It's not something I could do, and I'm not like I would hate to have to remove the shed just to make that process happen, you know. And,
Right.
and it's just I don't know when that could happen for us because financially that's just something I wasn't planning on. I was just planning on having the storage, you know, just to help me out. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on this end? Any other questions? No. You can be seated. Thank you. Is there anyone else this evening speaking for or against this appeal that'd like to come up? Okay. If not, then can I get a motion to approve variance number 2023-126?
So moved.
Discussion of the board? Any thoughts? I get where you're coming from.
Right.
You're
Well,
right.
I mean, I think
They're so close and.
right. But I also understand like the cost factor. You know, it's like how much is it going to cost to attach the house to say that we're going to have a shed? You know, is it it's the Duncan factors. What kind of is this an extreme cost? Is it not? So that's just, for me, it's just I understand like what options are out there. Had they been investigated? I actually am for this variance. I think again I appreciate that the homeowner understands the process now. I think I was in issues when I bought a house. I didn't realize how many things you need a variance for. So I'm in support of this.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's unique. I think he's expressed a hardship. I think we try to evaluate these carefully, and I think considering all the factors, what he's presented, neighbors don't disagree. There's nobody objecting to it. It's a unique lot, unique circumstances, and I think that's what puts me over the hump on this one and meets the threshold by which I would be in favor.
I concur.
Okay. Then the question is on the approval of variance 2023-126. Heather, please call a vote.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes?
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Valente?
Yes. Your variance has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, next is variance application 2023-127. Steve Kesher is requesting a variance from section 15.03A2 to allow an accessory building to be located on a vacant lot for the property located on Achilles Drive, current parcel number 08-A-001-C-00-005-0.
Steve Coster, 8219 Ravenna Road. I've been sworn in today. Looking to get a variance. I guess I was informed by zoning. When I got my fence permit that you can't have an accessory structure on a vacant lot. I would like to get a variance because when I purchased the property a couple years ago, my son didn't start driving. He now drives, so we all have 3 cars, and so the attached garage pretty much takes all that up. We do have two cars we don't drive in the winter. We want to put that in the storage building along with the lawn equipment and all that. I'd still be under the square footage of the principal building. I don't have any other decks or pools, houses, and I look at the shed as it's a semi-permanent structure. It's on a gravel pad, and if I were to sell the property, I would remove it from that said lot. One of the lots behind is Painesville City Water is a water tower, and the other 2 lots are vacant.
Yeah, across the street, those
Yeah,
are.
yeah, those were, I believe you sent them mailers, but they're,
So you live in the corner lot right
yeah, I
next to
live
this lot?
on Ravenna
Okay.
there.
How long have you lived there?
I purchased the house in 2017. Like I said, my son wasn't driving at the time. Now we all drive. The winters are pretty bad. kind of like need the garage.
Right.
The garage is detached. To attach the garage back, it's an old brick house. It would probably cost $50,000, and then it would cover up that garage. So I don't know how we would do that.
Right.
So again, this is just for the lawn equipment. It'd be tucked in the back there.
Right, did you, and then the lot that's in question here today, did you buy that
Yeah,
at some point?
No, I
after?
purchased it with the
Okay.
main property, thinking I could do some. It's only 0.38 acres or 3.5, and I guess to build a house you need 3/4 anyway. So there's really, I don't think there's anything you can do with a lot. It's not like it's with value to resell it or anything.
And then that vacant lot across the street, has that been vacant? Or I assume it's still vacant.
Yeah, I don't. Since I lived there, and some neighbors here will.
Do you know who owns that?
No, it's
Have you ever seen the person out there?
no, it's pretty quiet back there, except for the 2 people that live in the cul-de-sac.
How often is there water activity back there?
For maintenance and
Yeah. I assume they gotta keep it
yeah,
up, right?
I know they cut the grass. They dump all the grass in my lot back there when they cut the grass. Whoever does that, but other than that, there's a water truck there maybe once a week that comes back there.
Okay.
Make sure nothing's leaking, I guess.
How big is your lot?
My lot is I think it's 0.85. Yeah.
So even if you combine those properties, it still wouldn't meet the criteria for having more than one accessory building.
It would still be under 2 acres. Yeah. So
So that's not an option.
I say yes.
And where you're placing it, it looks fairly wooded around there?
Yeah, it's basically all wooded there. I would tuck it far back in the wood as possible and just have a little gravel. It's a little wet back there, so I can do a little grading and just a gravel pad, to get stuff in and out. I had the permit for the fence. It's going to go along Achilles, so you probably wouldn't even see it from the street once all that's done.
So you're not keeping vehicles in there, this is just for like your equipment or?
No, I plan on putting 2 vehicles in there they can't be driven in the winter. They just don't make parts for them. So I want to. That's why it's fairly large. It's a 14 by 32. It's it's enough to hold 2 cars and then all the lawn equipment.
Okay.
Yeah,
So would there be a driveway then?
I'd probably just put a little gravel there. Like I say, they're just going in the winter.
It
So
would be so it would be straight from
Yeah.
here to there
yeah,
essentially.
parallel to those trees there.
Any other questions? Anything on this end, Dave?
Nope.
Well, so I mean, I know you said if you sold the property, you would remove it.
Yeah, like I say, it'll be on a gravel pad. If that comes into stipulations, I could remove it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it seems like a big building to move. I mean, are they building it on site or are they?
This one they're building on site, but they're normally they're delivered. They're Amish built, and they deliver. But again, I don't plan on selling the house because I love the area. But stipulations, if I do sell it, I'll get it off the property.
So maybe this is a question for legal counsel. Can we stipulate that anything related to the building, if it's, I guess, okay, so like let's say he wanted to sell that property. We could say, well, if that's sold, the building has to come down or go away. Or if he were to sell his primary residence and this property, like, I guess, is there anything we can do with that, or?
I don't know.
And I don't know if we need to. I'm just trying to see what options are.
No,
if
I
it's
mean,
even
I'm
feasible.
trying to think through all the different options of like if you just sold the home, would the this accessory structure still be permitted? If we could put in a stipulation, if we make a stipulation to like sell the 2 properties together.
You would have it run with the current ownership. It would expire upon sale of variance. But
I guess my only concern would be like, are you selling a property? Because I guess the intent of the zoning resolution here is that you don't want to have just a shed on a building that you can then just sell to somebody else. Like, I mean, I guess is that what everybody else's understanding is? So I'm fine if we can do something like that to say, all right, property changes ownership, then
The variance expires.
the variance expires. Again, I don't. It's really a question for legal how we do that.
I think with these variances, you're granted a lot of authority to add in stipulations. So I think you could add that as a stipulation.
Let me ask you, we're still in the public section here, asking questions. So it's you're putting gravel down, it's not a permanent base, right? There's no concrete
No,
base?
there's no port pad. There's no utilities. I mean, 'cause we're all in septic back there, anyways. No, I'd say it's almost semi-permanent, but I don't plan on moving. But I think that's the most tucked back spot.
Do you own the home with who do you own the home with now? You and your wife? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Joint and severally? No other owners?
No, yeah, just me. My name's on the deed. My son.
Just you on the deed, or is she on it?
No, I'm on the deed. Yeah,
Just you.
She's not on it.
You don't have any kind of transfer on death designation affidavit in place or anything else? No.
No, nothing on file. I probably wouldn't sell a lot by itself anyways, because again, I don't think it's worth. You can't build nothing on there anyways, so
It's not a buildable lot.
yeah, it's kind of. I didn't know that when I bought it because, like I said, my son, it'd be nice for him to get the property, but it's not doable.
Have you considered consolidating the lots into one? I know there's a little bit of expense surveying otherwise, but is that something you considered?
I mean, it'd still be under the two acres. And
No, I know. I'm not asking for the purposes of establishing the variance. I'm
Yeah.
asking just in general.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought the two lots thinking I could do something with the one. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I assume I don't want to do a refi. I don't know how rezoning something like that is. Delete.
Sure, it's so unclear. So both lots, where your house is situated in this lot, are they both only in your name?
Yeah, I own both those lots.
Any other questions? You guys good? Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. You can be seated. Is there anyone else that would like to come up to either speak for or against this appeal?
Hi, Karen Long. I live at 11789 Achilles Drive, directly across the street on Achilles. I have been sworn in.
Thank you.
I have absolutely no problem with him putting a shed on the lot that's attached to his main property. I don't see why there would be an issue at all. There's nothing there. The water tower's there. It's unusable land that he maintains his property perfectly fine. I see no issue with it at all. I don't know why there would be an issue. That's all I have
Okay.
to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more? Mr. Coster, it's a wooded lot right now?
Mr. Custer, can you come up?
Or
Yeah,
just partially wooded?
It's pretty much half of it's wooded lot. Except it's connected to my current lot.
Are you clearing all the trees
No,
from the lot? or you're gonna-
I would like to have more trees back there. I'm probably gonna plant as
So
more
let
as
me
I
ask you
can.
this. I'll try not to talk over you. I'm sorry, because otherwise make it difficult on her. So your intention is to clear whatever you need just for the purpose of this structure and then leave all the remaining trees?
Where I'm putting it, I won't clear anything. It'll tuck in between two big maple trees. It's where I measured it. I kind of put some stakes there and measured it where it fit in between the two trees. I don't have to clear anything down, tear any woods down.
Really quick, what about the drive? Can you sneak a driveway? That gravel drive you want to put in for the shed? Will you need to clear for that?
No, it would be right in front of it, so it'd be perpendicular to the woods there. Again, 6 feet wide. I wouldn't tear any brush down or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to preserve that as much as I can, so I don't see the water tower or whatnot. So.
All right. Good. Is there anyone else that'd like to come up?
Hi, Mary Hensley. I live at 11855 Achilles Drive, at the end of the street from Steve. I have been sworn in. I don't have any problem whatsoever with what he's requesting. I drive by his house every day to get to mine. There's his house, the lot where he wants to put this, the water tower with 750,000 gallons of water. I think about that often. There's myself, and another neighbor down there, then the vacant lot that you guys were talking about across from where Steve wants to put his thing, and then these folks on the corner. It would be nice for him to have something to put the extra vehicles in. He doesn't have a very big house, doesn't have a very big driveway in front of his house, so everything is there. And it's not, he keeps his place immaculate. I gotta give him credit for that. He really mows more than I do. So I don't have the least bit of a problem. I think it would be a very good idea. And like I say, it's not going to detract from the home whatsoever with that water tower there. I mean, that's the big elephant in the room, so. Okay?
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to come up? Okay. If there's no further questions, public hearing for application number 2023-127 is now closed. Can I get a motion to approve variance number 2023-127?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. I'll let you figure. Okay. Discussion?
Well, I'll start. Reading the Duncan factors, I think this is unique. Will the property yield a reasonable return, or can there be a beneficial use of the property without the variance? I would say no, by what we know, right? By the staff analysis, by what our zoning text provides. Is the variance substantial? I'd argue that no, I don't think it's substantial in light of the size of it and looking at the diagram and where he's going to put it. I think it's notable that the trees are going to remain, providing a bit of a buffer. Will the essential character of the neighborhood be substantially altered, or will adjoining properties suffer a substantial detriment if the variance is granted? I would say no, and the adjoining landowners are here to say and provide their support. There's a water tower next to it. Will the variance adversely affect the delivery of government services? I would say no. It's no way, shape, or form going to inhibit or impact the Hazel City Water Tower or anything else. Did he purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restrictions? Maybe yes, maybe no. And then can it be resolved by some other manner other than the granting? I'm not sure that it can. Again, it's unique. He's got these two properties here, and even combining them together doesn't form enough for him to do what he wants to do. I think in situations like this, our particular board has been one that tries to help homeowners in our township. I don't think that we're particularly like Shaker Heights or some other communities that tries to find ways to say no to everybody. I think we try to find ways to say yes to help them. I think this is a situation that I don't know if there's another manner to service or do what he wants to do, and I don't think that it is such a detriment or such an eyesore to the community that it should be disregarded. And then finally, we'll preserve the spirit and intent of our zoning resolution. Will substantial justice be done by granting it? It's arguable either way, but I think that in light of what he intends to do, what he wishes to do, that I don't think that's necessarily proposed as a problem at all. And so, in consideration of Duncan factors, I would be in support of this variance.
Thank you. Anyone want to add anything to that?
Did the water department get notice of this?
Yes.
Did they?
The City of Painesville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you just said, but what I would add is just, I think it wouldn't change, to the homeowner's point, if the properties were combined, it really wouldn't change the variance. So, again, I think either way, I'm in support of this. I think for some reason, I feel like if the properties were made one, I think it would have been slightly easier, because now we're not dealing with a vacant property that, you can't really build on anyways. But, I think either way, I agree with everything you said, so.
Well, I want to state too, I don't want to belabor the point or talk too much. I tend to do that, but I think it's appropriate that we deliberate for purposes of the record. I think that's important. And so these things are discussed in some fashion, so maybe I talk too much. But, I think a good point was brought up about the ownership of it. As I thought about that, as you were saying it, I thought, well, that's an excellent point. But then again, I don't know that we necessarily need to provide that restriction. If he sells it, he's a sole owner. He doesn't own joint and survivor with his wife. If he does, I think whoever buys it is going to be happy to have it. If he sells it, it's just a singular piece of property. Again, it's a movable structure. It's not permanent. I don't know. I was trying to weigh that after you brought it because I think it's an excellent point. Personally, I don't see that that's necessary, but I don't know how everybody else feels.
Well, and again, I brought it up for discussion purposes
Yeah,
because
good point.
I don't know if it's something that we needed to account for or not, but you know, again, talking through it, I don't think it's really necessary.
Skip anything? No. Good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. With that, Heather, can you please call a vote to approve variance application 2023-127?
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
And Mr. Valenti?
Yes. Your variance has been approved.
Okay. Good luck.
Good luck. Next on the agenda is the election of chairperson and vice chairperson.
I'm sorry, what?
Well,
This is the
4 more years.
in light of that, I would move this board to certainly consider the effective leadership that we've been provided by Mr. Valentic. Mr. Sweeney, in times of his absence, Mr. Valentic's absence, that is, has been more than capable and competent in further leading this board and keeping it on the path that it desires and needs to be upon by virtue of our zoning rules and also for the benefit of the township residents and for the other board members. I would therefore move to nominate Mr. Valentic as chair and Mr. Sweeney as alternate chair or vice chair.
Second.
I would concur with the nomination for another term for Mr. Valenti. However, I would urge the board to consider another choice for the vice chair to get a new perspective on the board. Or no.
or not. Well, we don't have a Davey. I mean, would you be interested in being the vice chair?
Can we nominate Todd since he's not here? I mean, I'm interested,
although-
but I feel like maybe.
Having said that, I'd be happy to serve another term
Okay.
as vice chair.
I'll do my best to attend more meetings this coming year.
Mr. Valentic, I think you've done a remarkable job over your years of service, and whether you're here or not, I think Mr. Sweeney still remains a capable and competent fill-in in your absence. Not hearing otherwise, and I think I heard Mr. Sweeney relent and indicate that he would be so willing to continue to serve in that role. Mr. Rowan is certainly capable and a very fine member of the board who could serve as well, but I would move to keep the board as it's situated with our leadership.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
I think there already was, but I just wanted to add that since we were in discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, election completed. Next is the approval of minutes from March 2023. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any changes to the minutes, additions, deletions?
Ms. Melton has once again done a fine job. No changes, no additions, no deletions.
All right. Then the question is on the approval of the minutes from March 2023. A yes vote approves the minutes, a no vote does not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain. I was not here.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved as written. The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for April is now closed.